Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Welcome to a very interesting discussion today. Interesting because insurance, when we think about insurance, we think about something very solid and stable and traditional, especially in a country like Pakistan. So today's topic, innovations in insurance for Pakistan, is certainly a very interesting one for me. And I look forward to learning from our very esteemed and experienced panelists today. My name is Barrister Sahar. I'm a partner at a leading law firm in Pakistan, Akhund Forbes. I will hand over the floor to each of our panelists for a quick introduction before starting off with today's topic. So, Hisham Saab, if we could start with you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sahar. My name is Mohammad Hisham, and I'm working for IGI General Insurance as Chief Underwriting Officer. I've been in insurance industry from last 22 years, working with IGI at different roles. Right now, I'm also chair of Insurance Association of Pakistan Regional Committee North, and looking after the affairs of Insurance Association North chapter.
Thank you. Very good to have you on our panel today. Zain Saab, if we could move to you. Zain Saab, आप mute पर हैं. You're on mute. If you could unmute, please.
Absolutely. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. मेरा नाम Zain Jeewanjee. I'm in Silicon Valley, California. I've been here about 40 years. Been in the insurance industry since 1984. Created the first international medical inbound visitors insurance program in the U.S. Then created the first online aggregator website for insurance sales in 1997. Which was quite early at that time for innovation. Currently running 6 or 7 companies, including handling 2 of the largest insurance carriers in the U.S. is technology on the background. Thank you, Sahar.
Okay. Should I introduce myself? Sahar?
I think she's mute. Go ahead.
Yeah, we can mute, yeah.
Okay, no problem. Should I go ahead now, Zain?
I'm not the moderator, but I think you should. You should. I think we should.
Okay. So my name is Atif Irshad. I'm the principal partner for Reliance Management Services Inc. It's a company based out of Canada. So we are not very much in underwriting, but I must say that we are actually develop white label products for distributors in North American market, and that's what we do. And in Pakistan, we have a technology company where we develop and market compliance related softwares, which includes customer screening, compliance CRM, and digital onboarding platform. So we are the providers of, we provide in Pakistan and we even export. Thank you.
I think, Hunain, you can go ahead next.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Hunain Kapadia. I'm the CTO and co-founder here at Smart Benefits. I have my background is mostly in software engineering, which is based in the US. I was based in the US of Boston, in Boston for about 10 years, where I studied and I practiced software engineering. Came back to Pakistan and fell upon in the insurance space by chance, where I was looking for health insurance for myself and couldn't find it. So today we operate Smart Benefits, which is and Smart Benefit and Smart Choice, which are both aggregator platforms for finding insurance for individuals and for small businesses.
Thank you. Sorry I got disconnected, but Zensab, I'm very, very impressed by your credentials. And I think we moved on to Hunain, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, I think it's Rehan Saab next.
Rehan Saab.
I can go next. Thank you very much. And thanks for inviting me on this panel. My name is Rehan, but I have set up this insurtech called Instaful 29 days ago. Okay, so this is day number 29. So yeah, so starting over as a new thing. And I would pick something from Hunain said. Sorry for taking another extra like a minute or so. So I'm yet to see anyone who was like in their fifth or eighth grade and they said that I'm going to join insurance industry. So everyone who works in insurance is accidental. And as a matter of fact, I am working with a business school. When I said that to them, that when you have like 100 graduates passing out, if you interview them, none of them will mention that I'm going to join Instaful or like IGI or Smart Benefits. Everyone comes here like accidentally. So they were like they it blew their mind and they said, "Wow, we never thought it like that." So yeah, so we are doing something about that. We are fixing it. But my request to all of you would be that pick any academia, any place, any school, any primary school. It doesn't have to be like the top business school, but let's spread the word. Thank you.
Thank you. You've raised a very interesting point, and I think we'll come back to it later during our discussion. Over to Atif Saab, I think.
Atif is done. Wajahat Saab is left.
I've already introduced myself.
When
Would
I
you
got
would you
disconnected.
like me
All
to
right.
do it again? Okay.
No, no, that's fine. I think we have Wajahat Saab on the line as well, who seemed to have a little problem like me with his internet. Wajahat Saab, can you hear us?
I can. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome.
If you could,
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It's a pleasure to be on this platform as a panelist. Thank you very much for the invite. I think I've never used StreamYard before. It's the first time, and I think I'm kind of struggling. It won't allow me actually to show myself. So it's not that I'm hiding or I've been classed as a terrorist. So it's so don't take it otherwise. Huh? I have nothing against you guys. As an introduction, G, I've only just recently joined Salaam Takaful, and I'm managing their strategic initiatives. Those of you who know Salaam, this is a very dynamic organization. It's a very young organization also, and we are still trying to find our feet. We're still trying to find our niche, but we seem to have kind of come to a landing that ESG space is the space and the green space is the space where we want to be really focusing. So you'll find a lot of the initiatives coming out of Salaam within that space. On a personal note, I've been in the industry for over 30 years now. I started with Adamji in Pakistan. I then moved to the UK, and I worked with the likes of CxO Insurance Information, Allianz, XXL, more recently with Swiss Re Corporate Solutions. And Rizwan somehow enticed me back in and said, look, we want to do something very fascinating and interesting, so why don't you come back? So here I am with a view of actually, really looking at leveraging technology because Salaam is an insurtech, so it's exciting times. And along the way, when we talk more, I will be able to share some examples of how we are leveraging technology and what is it that we are doing in the Takaful space and how we are creating a differentiation factor. Thank you. We seem to have lost Sahar again, I believe. Can you hear us, Sahar? Oh, Sahar, my apology.
I think.
I think
Okay.
we have lost her. Oh, no,
I
she's
think no,
back. She's
actually
back.
she's there. She's just mute. So
Yeah.
I think we need to. She needs to unmute.
Yeah, Sahar, you're on mute, so we can't hear you. Yeah, I think she's struggling with internet connectivity, I assume.
Thank you, internet.
I think that's the first innovation we need in Pakistan. Better internet.
Absolutely.
Very
Yeah,
true. Very
you know
true.
what, Rehan? You know what? Actually, we are not that bad here in Pakistan. I mean, when I look at the penetration of internet usage and our mobile phone usage, if I compare that to the UK, where I was recently based, I think we're far superior. I mean, I remember between 2005 and 2010, I was in Pakistan and I was using a mobile internet, which was recently launched by PTCL. If you all remember Evo, you go and buy that in the UK, it costs you around £40 a month. Here, I was just paying 2,000 rupees and superb connectivity. There were no issues. So we're not that bad, but I think, yeah, bandwidth is an issue sometimes. But also depends
and
on the platform you're using.
That's
it's very
correct.
unpredictable. I mean, one day you have perfect internet, and the next minute it's all over. So thank you very much for your introductions. We're amongst a very, very seasoned company. I think let's start off by repeating what I said in the introduction, that when we think about insurance, and this is something Rehan have also mentioned, we think about something very traditional and very solid and stable. Um, and perhaps Rehan Saab, just to circle back on your point, you very, very rightly mentioned that when you ask a student or a fresh graduate, they do not talk about joining the insurance industry. Why is that? Is it because of lack of innovation or anything else?
Yes, so I'll tell you something very interesting, right? So look at insurance, right? So insurance, the money you pay to buy insurance is called premium, right? What's the meaning of premium? Premium means premium banking, exclusive, expensive, like fine leather, like Mercedes, right? And common people do not relate with that. That's one thing. So the thing we sell is called protection. So a few years ago, I created a mobile insurance product, and we approached customers, potential customers, that we will protect your mobile. They thought we are a company who are selling mobile screen protectors or the covers, right? So
Really?
insurance by design is a misleading, and it doesn't make a lot of
That's
sense
true.
to a lot of people, right? So the fresh grads who are like looking at it and all, so they don't relate with that. They do relate with the banks, they do relate with the telecom industry, they do relate with FMCG, but they rarely relate with insurance, because insurance is like, I mean, I remember that, when I used to, in my office in Karachi, I used to pass through, the Karachi Gymkhana and the Karachi Club and the Sindh Club. I always wondered that, who goes inside, right? Because I could never relate myself to those, right, as a young professional. So insurance is like Sindh Club, right? So like people, not like common people, don't relate that they could go inside. So that's the reason.
Okay, Sir, I would just like to take a minute on this because I have remained associated with the IAP and Lahore Insurance Institute from a while now, over a decade with them. And I think we have worked a lot on this subject with the Halle College of Commerce, especially, which is probably the only institute in the country which is offering a 4 years degree program, which was stopped for about 2 years. And only in last month we were able to revive it again. So we now have a specialized degree on risk and in insurance, which is happening at Halle College. It is happening from 2006 onwards. So from about 17 years, we have been producing the graduates who specialize in insurance and risk management. And many of those graduates have also been placed abroad, about 1,000 of them. So it's a big number that we have produced from Halle College and place them outside. The perception of coming in insurance is still not good. I would totally agree with Rehan sir. And the reason, apart from this, is the perception as an industry, we have not been able to build it. And the concept started from basically the sales thing. That life sales concept, and people usually don't like to associate themselves with that, and that's why the perception as an insurance person in this country is not very much. I would not say. I would say that it's not glamorous for a young graduate to come into insurance as profession, and as an industry we have not been able to probably go to the academia as much and tell people that this profession is not only about sales, but it's also about underwriting, maybe claims, finance, HR. You have all, and the technology that we are talking about. So I think this is my 2 cents on this.
No, thank you. You both raised very valid points, because actuarial sciences, studying actuarial sciences abroad is considered a very specialized and a very niche. I mean, there's a lot of sort of privilege attached to it, and very rightly mentioned that I think the country's cultural mindset is such that not every man on the street will think about getting insurance, especially when we go through economic cycles and just sort of varying levels of inflation. The common man will probably not think about taking out an insurance. So, Atif Saab, I'll come to you. How or do you see? I mean, we're a 75-plus-year-old country. We have different challenges, different sort of national level challenges. Do you see this cultural perspective, which which leads to a common man hesitating to think about getting insurance, changing in the near future, and what can be done to bring that change?
Actually, let me just answer this piece in a very, in a very comprehensive. This is a question which is very. It's actually $1 million question here. But if you look into the situation outside Pakistan, let's just study for a while and see that the common people, they are buying insurance not just because they love insurance. It is constituted by the regulators and the government. So they need to insure, they need to do insurance. And I think Zan will
That's very
correlate what
true.
I'm saying. So in Pakistan, we have noticed that this is very strange country where we don't have any system, where we don't have any, regulations in place to to watertight the entire society. That is not there. You just need to think about it. I mean, just look at it. We have so many insurances all across the globe, but those products is not been even introduced in Pakistan. It's just because we only think of life insurance, general insurance, and in general insurance, it's just the car or the plant and machinery, which is B2B. So even insurers, they fail to do their homework as well to introduce insurance in the market. But at the same time, I think the regulators should also think, and even the government, everyone has to play their role to promote insurance. That is just not there in Pakistan. And I
That
think
is
I
true.
think we should, yeah, exactly. It's not just common public. Common public is a common public. You need to, whatever you offer them, they will actually buy it. It's up to industry, it's up to government, and it's up to regulators. They need to do something about it.
That's
But we
that's
can
true. But I
always,
think
yeah.
yes, but
Sorry.
I think a lot of people might say that once the country goes through an extended period of economic and political stability, that's when promotion will also be effective. If during unstable times a product is being promoted, will it
Just
actually get attention?
Sahar, this is very interesting. Okay, Zan, yes, please.
No, no, please, Atif Saab,
Atif
Muhammad.
saab, आप complete
Okay,
कर लें
I,
because
I
Zain
thought I
साहब के
thought
साथ
you were
I have a
raising
few
hands.
questions.
You want to speak something.
No, no, I was going to speak, but complete
We'll
your
we'll
thought.
move to we'll move to Zain साहब. We have a few questions for him. आप complete कर लें Atif साहब.
All I want to say is that you know what we this country is like 76 years old, and you may have noticed that the insurance premium has like tenfolds increased in insurance premium. So it is an organic growth that we are witnessing, and they are happy about it. We need to get out of this mindset. Actually, we need to think differently, and that differently is, and probably this is the era where we think differently. Look at Hunain Kapadia, the way he is operating. Look at other digital insurers. And I mean, we need to think out of the box. We need to and reach out to the insured, and that is just not there in Pakistan. So, but anyways, I think if we'll do all our efforts together, probably we'll be in a better space.
जी,
Yes,
Zain साहब,
Zain, if you want to
I
add
have a
anything.
few questions. Yes, Zain साहब, I have a few questions for you. One is that Atif saab very rightly mentioned that especially in the US, if you don't have insurance, you cannot afford healthcare. So that is one reason, right? That is coming from the government and from the regulatory framework. Second is you've been in the US for decades now, and you have been a trailblazer, mashallah. I mean, I heard your introduction. So again, a couple of points. Do you agree with Atif Saab that there needs to be a change in the regulatory framework in order to push people to take out insurance? Is that suitable in a country like Pakistan? Because we're very different countries, right? So can we compare apple and oranges? First question. Second, related to our topic,
We lost you, sir.
um, the innovations you've seen working in the US, how can that be
I think before she completes the second question, since she's lost connectivity, Sahar, are you back? No, she isn't. Hunain, I think Hunain, you raised your finger just when
No.
I was raising my hand. So if you want to complete that thought process, otherwise you'll forget.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Atasa, for the kind words. Based on what the regulator and the law says, there are laws. That's what we've understood. For car insurance, third party car insurance is mandatory according to Pakistani law. According to the Motor Vehicles Act of 1938, that's the law that governs us, unfortunately. But there is no implementation. Similarly, for life insurance, there is a law that a certain if you have a company of a certain size, you need to get life insurance. The law is there, the regulator has done it, but there's no implementation. The implementation part blocks us, blocks the whole thought of people going to buy insurance and creating that automatic demand. While our neighboring country, if you look at India, is the same thing. Third party insurance is mandatory, but and it is implemented. That's why the most amount of policies that they sell today, also if you look at Policy Bazaar, all of that, the most amount of policies that sell automatically without any third party assistance is third party insurance for car insurance, and that's where you start getting the taste of insurance.
Hunain, when I said that we need to have a regulation, it does not mean that we need to have a regulation. It means that we need to have a regulation where the regulator and the government, they need to follow strictly and do the inspection done. And so, I mean, it's a complete ecosystem that I'm talking about. It's not just regulation per se in writing regulation. And you rightly said that is lacking. That's the area which is lacking. So we need to. I mean, somebody needs to do it.
Okay,
Somebody
I
needs
can
to think
update
about
you
it.
on this, Atif Sab. I can update you on this regulatory thing, and it's a very important topic. This
Please.
third-party liability that Hunain has taken up. In fact, this third-party motor insurance is going to bring in an estimated rupees 20 to 25 billion rupees of premium in the industry. So it is about 20% addition if we bring this sort of implementation, number one. Number two, SECP has already placed in a framework, and it is on the verge of implementation. And what we are seeing is that once that Act of Parliament is done, which is probably will be done if we have a stable government, let's suppose by next year. So I think this is going to happen. And again, the environment and the regulation that we are talking about, it is only going to happen once we have that insurance policy with every car and every person playing on the road. Because the problem is that out of the millions of vehicles that we have, the most of the vehicles are motorcycles, and we don't have a cover for those motorcycles at all, and they are the ones who are mostly involved in the accidents, in the major injuries and the deaths, and no one knows that how are they ever compensated. So I think this is a very, very important
Hashim, sir,
topic in
you're
terms
very,
of,
sorry
sorry.
sorry for butting in. My name is Rehan,
Yeah.
but so I have to butt in, of course. So, a quick question. So you're wearing two hats, right? One is of IAP and the other one of a non-life insurance company. May I, if you don't mind, may I ask that why don't we have a motorcycle insurance policy for like used motorbikes and all?
We have a policy, so the companies can give policy. No one, it is an individual underwriter's discretion to give that policy or not, but the policies are there. You can give a policy, and we usually do give policies to the corporates. Any individual with a good track record, the employees of the corporates, we always give them a comprehensive policy. Always try to avoid this third party insurance, but this has been the case that the insurers have been avoiding it somehow, third party
Uh,
motor insurance.
Yeah, but two-thirds of those
yeah.
who ride motorbikes are self-employed. So I mean, if we have 100% penetration per your definition of insurable population, still 2/3 of them will be without insurance because they are self-employed. They're not part of a good corporate.
Yeah, you're right. That is the fact of the matter, and we have
Hasham,
to accept it. Yes,
Hasham, there
yes,
is
please go
another
ahead.
piece. You have just shared with us the size of this third-party business. I mean, I was really amazed to look at it that, this is very structured business when it comes to out of the legal domain. I see a lot of third-party insurance policies sold outside civic center, and it's like a 7+ billion rupee probably structured business. So, what do you have to say about it?
I think I have already admitted that it is a common, it is a failure of insurance industry as whole that we have been unable to get this implemented. So it's a failure. There's no other word for it. So it's a failure. We are trying, we are pushing, but somehow it is not happening. What I see in my last 20 years of career, probably this is the closest that we are getting to get a third party motor law implemented. So I hope that in a year or so we'll be able
I
to do
think
that.
it
I
will
think
be
it's
it will be for
I,
the benefit of all, probably. Yeah. Yes,
I
Zain,
think
sorry.
I think these challenges that Pakistan sees, and I think Hunain, who is crossed both borders, may also agree or may disagree. We and at the start of this meeting, we were having internet issues, and I think it was Wajahat Saab who came in and said that we have one of the best internets in the world. We really do. I think it's that frame of mind that Pakistan is swimming in the pool today. We really think we're the world's best cricket team. We think we have the world's best leadership. We think we have the world's best cars. We are the smartest people in the world. We need to face reality. And I'm going to say a line that I want you all to resonate with. दुनिया आगे निकल गई है.
I think
दुनिया
Zen sir,
बहुत आगे.
Yeah.
I
दुनिया
will
बहुत
interject
आगे.
here before my internet fails me again.
Yeah.
I think abhi pichle in the last couple of years, more than ever, I think we've realized that these were tall claims. And if now anybody thinks that we really are the best in everything, it's probably a little delusional because we have to work hard. We're back at square one, right? We have to work hard to get back where we were and to progress from there because we
Correct.
were a few years
The-
ago we were at that stage.
I yeah, I don't think we were. I would say, look, I also sat on the board of Rand Corporation for 6 years. I just gave up my seat this winter, and so I saw a global perspective of a lot of things, of a lot of facets of growths of countries. And if you look at Korea and you take other countries, in example, Singapore, you look at India, where it is. I was in India for a month for the World Cup just last month. I just came back, unfortunately, last week. And I tell you, हम progress में बहुत पीछे हैं. But there's fundamental reasons for that. And unless we address the fundamental reasons why people don't buy insurance. और आतिफ साहब आपने बड़ा अच्छा point raise किया कि insurance क्यों कोई खरीदता नहीं है. और उसकी वजह ये है कि ये आपके ही मुल्क में नहीं है, ये सारी दुनिया में है. इंश्योरेंस में मैं अपने बच्चों को इंश्योरेंस एजेंट तो नहीं बनाऊंगा, even though
Exactly.
all my three kids are in insurance. They all run massive insurance companies. All my three kids, 27-year-old, 38-year-old, and 40-year-old, they all three are in insurance. However, I live in Silicon Valley. Why would my kids want to go into insurance? They want to go into Google, Facebook, Yahoo. So it's nothing about that. The concept of insurance was for a very long time, and I think it probably started in the late 50s in the US and probably all across the world, where insurance was attached to a sleazy salesperson. And that content इंश्योरेंस में कुछ हो गया है, वो सेल्समैन होते हैं सारे. बेचेगा, रात को शाम को आपके घर पर आएगा, उसने प्लेड सूट पहना होगा, ब्रीफकेस निकालेगा और आपको लाइफ इंश्योरेंस बेचेगा. That was the concept of insurance.
With Zen साहब यहाँ मेरा सवाल था वो शायद I wasn't audible कि
Yeah, yeah.
आतिफ साहब ने कहा था that the government also needs to work on promoting insurance. तो मैंने उससे आपसे पूछा था कि for US में इंश्योरेंस नहीं होगा तो हेल्थ केयर इज अनअफोर्डेबल. पाकिस्तान में बात नहीं है बिकॉज वी हैव अफोर्डेबल हेल्थ केयर. आई मीन नॉट लाइक अ वेलफेयर स्टेट लाइक द यूके बट स्टिल क्लिनिक्स होती हैं, डिस्पेंसरीज होती हैं. So, what is your view on this? Because US and Pakistan are two different countries.
So look, it's not the U.S. government enforcing it. What Hunain is doing in medical in Pakistan is he's taking leapfrog, right? एक बंदे ने एक civilian ने उठा के, you will only progress in this industry if individuals and private parties take that step. And unfortunately, 71 was a bad year for us when everything was dismantled. So individuals who were taking those steps were told, "Aap na kare, government should get the shit out of everything." You don't want government in anything. You don't want government to tell you to go buy insurance. When the Pakistani starts thinking कि रिस्क मैनेजमेंट क्या है, जब मेरी गाड़ी का एक्सीडेंट होगा तो मेरे पास इतने पैसे है कि मैं फिक्स कर सकता हूँ, वो कॉन्सेप्ट ये भी नहीं आया हमारे पास। खैरात का कॉन्सेप्ट है इंश्योरेंस का। उसका मतलब क्या होता है कि जब मेरी गाड़ी की एक्सीडेंट हो जाती है, मुझे अमेरिका में आई हैव बीन डूइंग इंश्योरेंस फॉर 40 years. जब हम we at one time were the world's largest travel insurance provider. We insured Google and Microsoft's international benefits. So we were the largest company insuring the only country, two countries that we got a call from and we used to insure people who come into the US, the foreign nationals. सिर्फ दो मुल्कों के कंट्री के हमें ये कॉल आता था, सलाम अलैकुम सर, जी सर, वालेकुम सलाम सर, मेरी अम्मी हॉस्पिटल में है, उनको किडनी का कोई फेलियर हो गया, इंश्योरेंस मिल जाएगी? तो मैंने कहा कब आई थी? सर वो आई तो 4 साल पहले थी यहाँ, लेकिन मैंने कहा आपने पहले इंश्योरेंस क्यों नहीं ली? हमें जरूरत नहीं थी।
हमारा knee-jerk approach होता है, हम सोचते नहीं।
We've not understood what insurance is. Insurance is the same concept that was given to us 1400 years ago कि आपका कोई बच्चा मर जाए, ये हो जाए तो मोहल्ले वाले आप सब उसको संभालेंगे. That's what it is. You are pulled into a pool. So I think that knowledge base over time, the younger generation, I'm very positively thinking they will be. And before, let me finish my thought and then you can join in. What the other point I want to make is what Mohammed Hisham is doing on the news. That's phenomenal because I just I donated $5 million to USAID to invest in Pakistan into hiring insurance people. Why? Because Atif Saab, America may by 2025 for CSRs, which are customer service rep, there's a shortage of 700,000 ki shortage hai. USAID never works with anybody to create a USAID package for a country, foreign country, in which employment is given because wo American jobs ka nahi dena chahte hain. We're the first case they've done it with. First ever. Of course, we had to invest the $5 million into it. But we're the first company they've agreed to be able to hire people in Pakistan to work remotely for the insurance industry. So, my goal is that Servants, which is one of my other companies that is based out of Pakistan, we're partnering with Phone and inshallah ta'ala with also systems to get 100,000 employees from Pakistan working remotely. And we'll try for women if possible, because women I found in Pakistan are much more smarter and much more loyal and harder working. At least in the insurance level, but web development ki baat nahi kar raha hu. On service level, women are just so much more in Pakistan. And they're just more dedicated, hardworking because they don't get the opportunity anywhere else. But imagine 150,000 Pakistan mein yoon le sakta hu main. Kal mujhe mil jaye. Educated, smart, insurance, knowledgeable person, मैं 150 यूं उठाऊं क्योंकि मुझे $2,000-2,500 में मिलेंगे और मैं यहाँ उनको 70,000 में बेचूंगा. So it's just a gold mine for me. But coming to the concept, आपका जवाब देने के लिए कि इंश्योरेंस गवर्नमेंट रेगुलेट नहीं करेगी जब तक हम कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे कि रिस्क को शेयर किस तरह करते हैं. एंड दैट इज कमिंग एज मोर पीपल आर ओनिंग होम्स, मोर पीपल आर ओनिंग कार्स एंड गेटिंग इनटू कार एक्सीडेंट्स. मोर पीपल जब आप खुद रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेंगे अपने पोजेशंस का, तब आपके चाचा मामा और खालू आपको घर खरीद के नहीं देंगे, तब ये होगा. फाइनेंसिंग भी हो रही है घरों में, तो आई थिंक इट मेक्स अ डिफरेंस बिकॉज नाउ देयर homes are being financed. Is that correct? In Pakistan, a lot of them are being financed. So obviously now if it burns down, then you're going to be concerned about that. I think that's where it'll start. I don't know. You guys are on ground zero. You know better. But I've seen in America, it changed. If I look historically, it changed where people started possessing stuff that when they lost it, their life was disrupted, and they said, "Okay, let's do this." Life insurance, I think, is in a decline globally. If you look at the numbers, it's on a global decline as wealth disparity is getting wider. So life insurance probably will turn into only term insurance in another 4 or 5 years. But the exciting news for Pakistan is, and for every Pakistani, is AI. AI has just flattened everything. So you just say internet jab aaya tha, everything was flattened. AI is another flattener of the world. If we jump into that cycle, if we bring that innovation into Pakistan, wow.
We have brought in Zain Saab. So I'm working on an AI-based distribution channel. So
रेहान
we
साहब मैंने आपको फ्रेंड रिक्वेस्ट लिंक्डइन पे भेजी थी 2-3 हफ्ते पहले तो अपने असिस्टेंट को कहिएगा फ्रेंड रिक्वेस्ट कर ले आपसे मुझे बात भी करनी थी यू दैट्स रियली ट्रू इनोवेशन विल चेंज पाकिस्तान
Gee, we're
I
just
would like to, if that's okay, Vakil Sahib, I would like to put in a couple of quick points. I'll be real quick. One is that I mean we need to look at the context, right? So I mean when I moved to Islamabad a few years ago, so I found out something amazing, right? So there is so the people in the villages and also they have a system of they will contribute into like a fund, and when someone dies, the fund will be used to pay for that. That's one. The second thing is that our family system, our the family structure. So when our parents or the grandparents they grow old, they are respectfully kept in the house, and they are like although they economically they have zero value economically, but they are like given they still hold the position of head of the family. That's not in the West, right? So we need to see that it's not that that's why I always challenge that we don't have 3% insurance penetration. We have much more. The fact that we don't call that insurance, the formal insurance, right? The last point is that when I started this journey of digital and inclusive insurance 10 years ago, I studied, the other, the penetration of, for example, telecom industry. That blew my mind, because I mean there were 2 million phones, landline, and they were like now they're like 200 million mobile phone connections. And then studying half a dozen such industries which were non-existent and now never thought of, like 20 years ago, and they are now prevalent. And insurance is a 300 years old industry. In Pakistan, it was there when we came into being, and it's still like it's a fraction of. In my understanding, there are four factors which change things in a lifetime. One is that you have to make it easy, common person understands it. Second, you have to make it affordable. Affordable is a relative term. So if I'm earning like let's say $4 per day, I should be able to buy an insurance policy from that amount of money, like a fraction of that, like 5%. Third is make it available. So it should be like people should know where to go to buy an insurance policy. And fourth is make it accessible. It should not be asking for your nani ammi ka nikah to sign up for insurance policy. It should be like 1-2 clicks and you get your insurance. So I'll shut up now and let others talk. Thank you.
Very, very,
Hunain
very
Saab,
true. But Rehan, I will just add one thing here. I will just would like to add one thing here. Whatever we do, whatever you have just said, it's all about sale, sale, sale. But one thing you must not forget, that the dispensable income, the dispensable income is a problem in Pakistan. Zain, and Hunain, you will agree that in developed market we do insurance because there is a regulatory requirement. Bank forced you to do insurance. The health insurance forced you to do insurance. You cannot have a drive. You cannot drive vehicle without an insurance. So, and by the way, all insurance even claims the behavior, they are all score based. So you need to be careful. You need to take care of everything around you, whether it is your life, asset, your factories, your offices. You need to take care of everything, and for that matter, for some reason, you have dispensable income where you can actually afford to buy all these insurances. In Pakistan, we are into a very different, scenario. most of the people who would like to buy life insurance policies, they just cannot, because the dispensable income is just not there. Rehan rightly said that if we have to offer like small ticket products with like with a very minimum premium scales, I think that will work. But again, it again involves a lot of introduction into the market for those kind of products, which we again, as Hisham said, that we have actually, we have failed to introduce a lot of insurance products in Pakistan.
Atif,
And he was
what
referring to third party liability.
Atif sir, what
Sorry?
percentage of the population is religiously driven not to buy insurance?
No,
What
actually,
percentage?
this is very interesting. Pakistan has probably the penetration rate of insurance is probably less than 2%. That's the reality. We
It's
change it.
actually less
We
than
want to
it's
change
actually
it.
less than 1%. Right now, it's actually
Okay.
less than 1%. Even if we combine both life and general side of the business,
This
the
is
total premium
actually,
size of the market is about 550 billion rupees as of 2022, which includes both life and general side. And a fraction of it, less than 0.5%, is the share of the digital policies, as we call it. So while I painted a bleak picture, I think there are some very good stories, some success stories on the technology side. The companies which have tried to bring in technology and have succeeded. So one example is a product called Vitality on the life side, which uses the lifestyle model, and by gauging the lifestyle, they are a company based out of South Africa, and one of the companies in Pakistan have partnered out with them, and they have started leveraging technology to an extent in terms of selling life insurance in a different manner. Number one is that. Then another company is coming up by using this IoTs, these tracking devices, which is now called the concept of telematics. So they are also leveraging these tracking devices to gauge the driving behaviors and implement that in the underwriting process. So the second example is this, and the third example, which is probably more relevant, is of Bima Milvik, a company which is selling about 300,000 unique policies through the telecom operators. So, and generating a premium of roughly around 1 billion rupees. And then there are other companies also. So the size of these policies and the premium which is coming through the digital media, though it is not digital media in that sense, but again, leveraging the mobile telecom operators, is close to 2 billion rupees. So there is some sort of technological advancement, at least in terms of distribution, in terms of adding new products. And another important point that Zain Saab, that you put forth, I think in the BPO business, Pakistan definitely is not at par with India right now, and we need to improve that. So recently, when we signed up with Hele College, one of the points of that MOU was to train the students to get into this BPO business as well, because they are all university graduates. For BPO business, the basic requirements are that you need to have people who at least have some sort of basic good qualification. They know and can talk in English. You can train them, but you need to invest into these kids, and they're very hardworking kids. We have seen people going into health tech. We have seen the BPO business growing tremendously in Pakistan, in the other areas. But insurance is also happening, but it is happening in bits and pieces, and it is not with the right people. The people probably who do not have a background of insurance, they might have a background of maybe telecom, but they actually don't understand the business inside out. So and India is doing wonders in this BPO business. They are providing this to probably most of the US business is going to India. So I think that is a big opportunity that we as insurance industry can help the universities and can collaborate and bring this business and the foreign exchange for the country.
Ji, thank you. We'll move to Hunain Saab and then we need to move to Wajahat Saab because he's been very quiet and patient. So, Hunain Saab, let's have your thoughts.
Yeah, just three quick points on you mentioned Zain Saab mentioned about health insurance and government. So I wanted to inject in on that. When the Sehat card came in, it broke the awareness. We always, the insurance industry always used to complain that awareness nahi hai. People don't know about it. When the Sehat card came in, we no longer have that excuse. Everyone knows what Sehat card is. Everyone knows how insurance works. And it's clear from, if you look at the Google search trends, you will see the search trend for health insurance going up, which means that people want to know. People either have a very basic idea or people want to know more. So awareness ka challenge in Pakistan nahi hai. We don't believe that awareness ka challenge hai. People know. People are very smart, and the customer knows everything. दूसरी बात आपने सहर बात करी कि पाकिस्तान में health is cheap, and that's why people health treatments are cheap, and that's why people don't need people are not looking for insurance as such
compared to the US maybe.
Yes, compared to the US. So I will counter that. There are 3 points why we need health की अगर बात करें specifically तो firstly, most of our out of pocket expenses are most of our health expenses are out of pocket. US में अगर आप डॉक्टर के पास जाएं तो आपकी health insurance उसको आपको you have to give 20% of the doctor's fee. The rest insurance covers it. Pakistan में OPD में insurance नहीं चलती because of the cash economy. The health insurance that Pakistan sells, it covers only IPD, and most of your health expenses are OPD. You look at the Karandas report, you look at all the other reports that are released by the NGOs, 70 or 80% of your expense is OPD, which is a big chunk and gets very expensive over time. Number one. Number two, why we need insurance, and what insurance does in the US is it regulates the hospitals and the doctors. In Pakistan, that is not regulated. आपके पास गली के कोने में डॉक्टर तो है, उसकी कोई quality check नहीं है, उसका कोई standard नहीं है, and nobody's regulating that. When insurance comes in with the whole concept of on-panel doctors, on-panel hospitals, it regulates it and it guarantees a certain quality that the patient will get. So the insurance helps in that. The third thing which insurance helps is the whole black and white thing. आज जो सारा OPD हो रहा है उसका 70 to 80% of Pakistan's OPD happens in cash, in black money. When insurance comes in, all of this becomes white. All of this comes in the tax net. Insurance also including all the hospitals. जब आप on panel hospital जाते हैं, on panel treatment कराते हैं, वो सब white होता है. जब आप cash देते हैं, that mostly gets parked in the black books of the hospital. This is a big opportunity for the government also, and the industry as well to see कि यार ये एक बहुत बड़ा chunk of the economy white हो जाएगा और tax net के अंदर आ जाएगा जो आज बिल्कुल off the tax net चल रहा है. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Thank you.
Very very interesting point. Thank you. And just to add to this, आप बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं. जैसे हमारे यहाँ अगर online appointment booking system भी होता है तो वो कार्ड एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते हैं. तो you're already वहाँ जाके फिर आप कैश लेके जाओ, बुक करो, आपको डिस्काउंट नहीं मिलता है. वजाहत साहब, विल कम टू यू. अपॉलॉजीज, आपको काफ़ी देर इंतज़ार करना पड़ा. 2-3 बातें मेंशन भी हैं. एक है कि हमारा पर्सपेक्टिव ये रहा है दैट हम ये नहीं सोचते कि इंश्योरेंस इज एन इंश्योरेंस, राइट? इट्स अ लाइफ लॉन्ग. आप बढ़ रहे हो, अगर आपको खुदा ना खास्ता कभी ज़रूरत पड़ती है तो आप टैप इन करते हो. जनरली पाकिस्तान में थोड़ा सा पर्सपेक्टिव ये रहा है कि जब ज़रूरत पड़े तभी हम उस चीज़ को फिक्स करेंगे. तो वो आई थिंक जैन साहब ने कहा कि विद द यूथ मे बी दैट इज़ चेंजिंग एंड वी कैन होप फॉर दैट टू चेंज. और सेकंड, फिर हमारा ये कमेटी का बहुत कॉन्सेप्ट होता है कि हम कमेटी डाल लेते हैं. इंश्योरेंस से ज़्यादा कमेटी का होता है. कमेटी डाल लेते हैं, अच्छा कमेटी निकल आई. तो वजाहत साहब, you've heard, I think it's been a very very substantive discussion. आपने सबकी बातें सुनी है. We'd like to hear from you.
Thank you very much, Sahar, and thank you, everyone. It's been an insightful discussion so far. There is no doubt about the challenges we have in Pakistan. But I think with all of these challenges, the single biggest thing that I'd like to underline and highlight is that it's the insurance industry themselves to blame for where they find themselves right now. We have not innovated. We suffer from a serious trust deficit. We do not speak to each other. We do not collaborate. and hence we are unable to form a substantial pressure or lobby group that can stand in front of the various ministries or the regulator to require those changes coming in. And on top of that, we have also failed on the educational front. We let those rogue agents go around in the marketplace and acting as sleazy agents and let them sell our products and let them be our face without acknowledging the damage it does to our reputation, right? And when I see a person like that coming in, I will never let my children go into that industry, right? So let's be very clear on this. It is the industry. And it's interesting, I've come back after 13 years. I started in 97. I went away to UK in 97. And then, sorry, I started in 91. Then I came back in 2005, went away again in 2000. And I've come back again after 30 years. I met up with my old friends. I networked with them again. And I told them, look, guys, we're still talking about the same issues we used to talk about when we started a career, which means we have done nothing. And I kind of was very angry with them. And I said, you've become part of the problem yourselves, right? Now, how do we change this, right? That is really the challenge. I mean, Hisham Saab, you mentioned the Haley College. Actually, I was already teaching MCOM insurance students at Karachi University in 2005. So there has been a master's degree in insurance actually available. And I ended up hiring them. I took it upon myself to train them. They are superstars in their own right. It also depends on the environment you provide them and the kind of people. So at Salaam, at least I cannot talk about everyone right now, and I've just highlighted some fundamental things, but I can tell you about some of the things that I've done and some of the things my current employer is doing. We've gone and we hired people from CBM. We are training them, investing them. We engage with them, right? There's one thing in hiring people and telling them what to do. The other flip side is you hire smart people and let them tell you what you should be doing. And that's what we are doing, really, right? Because today's youth is smart. We lobby the SECP regularly, we engage with them regularly, we engage with like-minded peers regularly, and we are looking to create a platform of like-minded insurers whereby we can engage with our regulator. The government has its own challenges, but if you keep engaging, if you keep talking, if you keep doing something, it does work. At least that's been my, in 31 years I've been in this industry, and that is what I've done. You keep doing something consistently. We sit and talk. We have these, hi-fi seminars. Sorry, I'm a bit cynical on a lot of the things, so don't be offended with some of my comments. But we talk a lot in our seminars. We want to bring in people from abroad to talk about how things can be improved, but we never ask ourselves how we as a person want to change and bring about the change within our industry, right? Are we going after top-notch graduates and providing them the environment? Are we engaging with the reference ministries basically regularly? Are we creating and working hard to take away that trust deficit? Look at the forum that we have. IAP is a redundant forum for me. I beg my, but pardon me for the use of the words that I'm using. We don't have any stakeholders from the loss adjusting fraternity on that forum. We don't have any stakeholders from the broker fraternity in that forum. We don't have any people with the likes of the insurtechs on that forum who know actually how to run the technology, which means you're missing key stakeholders, which are who have a futuristic viewpoint, right? So unless we learn to sit together, unless we learn to leverage technology, unless we learn to trust each other, this similar conversation will be happening 15 years from now on, mark my word, right? Now let me tell you, Hisham Saab, you talked about leveraging technology. Obviously we do. I mean, we are the only insurtech in Pakistan right now, right? We have a crop parametric product that is purely technology based. We have already got a pay as you drive product which has the capability of monitoring your carbon emissions. We have a product which is pay how you drive, which means I can monitor the behavior of my driver and I can accordingly adjust my premium at renewal, right? So, but the fact is, I don't have marketing dollars to put myself out there really and speak about these products. I'm already doing it, but I need that support from anyone who sees this product. We are in fact reaching out to like-minded insurers and telling them, look, we have the product, don't waste your time developing it, we'll white label this for you. So, I think we are a bit ahead of the curve in terms of using technology and, leveraging all of these products. But what we found is, again, that collaboration and the trust deficit has been the stumbling block, because even with that like-minded insurer, the challenge is how do we actually bridge that trust deficit? We are knocking doors. We are doing best. And for the crop parametric product, I tell you, the investment and the time we've invested, we've engaged with the World Bank, we've engaged with the IFC, we've engaged with UNAP in Pakistan, we've engaged with UNDP in Pakistan, we've engaged with Global Parametrics, we've engaged with Blim Parametrics, we've engaged with the Insurance Development Forum, we've engaged with the World Bank, you name it. We've been out there asking for funding for this product, because if I were to take the data and then load that onto my premium, it becomes extremely uneconomical for my farmer, right? But if, for example, 5, 6 insurers were to join hands together, that cost of data can be subsidized by all of us, and it becomes easy for us to sell that product to the farmer on a very competitive price, right? So, I mean, in my mind, and sorry, I'm relatively sort of, I've been away for 13 years. I've only been here for 2 months. So, as an observation, these are some of my observations across an industry, basically. But at least with the forums, Sahar and team, that you've created, and you've brought in all of these specialists and people who are so passionate about making sure that our industry evolves, we need to speak to each other at our levels, and then we need to engage with people in the respective spaces within the ministries, within the regulatory framework, within the Central Bank of Pakistan, people at PRCL also, by the way, and NICL also, and those people are engaged in the insurtech space, basically, so that we can actually make sure that this really rolls out and opens up for everything. Even if we were to
Thank
go
you.
down that route of making sure third party liability. So just one final point, because I held on. So, and when I talk, I just go on a roll. So just 1 minute on the third party liability part of the things, right? The biggest challenge is, I mean, if you look at the West, I mean, you talked about the US, but in the UK, what I've noticed in the last 5, 8 years, or at least a decade, insurers are now reluctant to offer third party. They would rather offer you a comprehensive coverage. Their third party only cover is more expensive than your comprehensive coverage, because they are discouraging selective and anti-selection, right? That this is how. And I do not know, with our liability framework in Pakistan, how far down the road we would be successful in only selling liability only policy. And these are some of the challenges. Thank you very much, everyone. Really appreciate listening to me.
Thank you, Wajahat sahab. Very passionate and all points taken on board. And we need to round up our discussion. I'm very pleasantly surprised given the topic. I wasn't expecting it to be so engaging, but I think we need another session because we have a lot of questions which we haven't covered as yet. One point that Wajahat Saab mentioned was lack of consistency, and that's true. I think Rehan Saab, maybe it was you or somebody else who referred to our telecommunications market and the level of penetration. You're right. I mean, and I think the challenges and the obstacles that we've mentioned apply to many other sectors in Pakistan as well. We see an opportunity, we start with it, but somewhere down we lose our steam and we lose the commitment and consistency, and things become complacent. So that is something we generally need to change holistically. I think I'll just, if anybody has any final thoughts, because we're nearing our 1 hour mark. So if anybody has any thoughts, thank you very much. It's been an extremely engaging discussion. I think we definitely need to
Can I
have another one because we
add,
have
can I add a line?
yes,
I'll
please.
take Wajad Saab's request and pounder on it. Wajad Saab, I think if you want to build an association of leadership, I will fund the first conference if you want to do in Pakistan on that. I'll completely host it, fund it, everything. You run it, you take on the baton and bring together leaders to have a core team built around you. I think that's a very good idea. To all of you on the panel, any help I can give you with the US market penetration, any products you do, don't think only Pakistan, think outside Pakistan. Innovation may, if you want any help at all, anything you need some senior people from the Silicon Valley to give you be your advisors. I would request that everyone on this panel and everybody listening, in the next 60 days, ask me for a favor, please. That's all I request, that you ask me for a favor
Thank,
in the next 60
thank
days.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Okay.
Lots of
Yeah.
potentials, miles to go before we sleep. Sky's the limit. On that note, I will end today's discussion. Again, thank you, Zensa, for your very, very kind offer. And I'm sure a lot of other people are listening as well, and hopefully they'll reach out to you as well. And as Wajahat said, we need to sort of, come together and collaborate. So thank you and have a good rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Assalamu
you.
alaikum.
Allah
Thank
Hafiz.
you.
Allah
Thank you,
Hafiz.
everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.
Walaikum assalam. Allah Hafiz.